Hello everyone, I am Tessellating Hexagons, and because I can't help myself, I'm recording a second episode of Yoshi's Crafted World in the same session as last time, as I always do. I'm dressed as a whale. Hello there, you're a pink box.
I'm wiped out. If only I had 10 smiley flowers.
Nothing is implied by this choice of words, and I don't see why you would find otherwise. And by choice of words, I of course mean choice of voice. I shouldn't have recorded this episode, and yet here we are.
Thanks, that really puts a spring in my step.
This is gonna obliterate my voice. But that's fine, that's what you come here for. So yes, burst open those cardboard flower pots.
Welcome to Sky High High.
Why, thank you. I'm guessing those are like packing peanuts in the back left ground. The back left ground, but like colored in pastel colors and not like bits of chalk. Or possibly food. Which, okay, there's a tangent. And before I go on to said tangent, this looks like a gimmick level. So what's the, 40, that's a bit low, that's worrying. Feel free to, maybe commit some murder along the way. Oh, it's physicsy. Oh, I watched the film Airplane relatively recently, and it's not aged spectacularly, but there were some parts that did me and amuse. Anyway, so the ramble I would like to ramblone is okay. The plane itself can also collect. That's important knowledge. Oh, bean. This is good. This takes some getting used to because it's a bit more floatful than it looks. So, America, right? Oh dear. Well, that's not good. America, that's not good, said the entire world. But, right, so, America and their whole, yes, our culture is the norm, there is no alternative, whatever. When they talk about Smarties, and then they have this tube of fucking refreshers. Like, no, Smarties are chocolate things. Like, and also, for that matter, what they call Dove chocolate. It's fucking galaxy, mate! No, my way of living is the norm. How dare you, America, for trying to exist in the same way that I want to. I am very aware of my hypocrisy and rambling about these things. It's just, Dove isn't Dove. Dove is a type of body equipment. You know, like beauty cream smudge-like things. Why are you in the background? What are you doing? Why am I having to be clever? I don't want to be clever. Come on now, come now. I have aimed at... Oh, you have a gift. You have a gift for me. Well, I wanted to hit those, but on several occasions, Yoshi refused to throw into the background, which is a frustranoitricating. And so I ran out of eggs, and so couldn't get a good score. So I don't expect to get the prize for maximum viscosity here. And by that I mean I don't expect to get all 3 smiley flowers for getting the best score, in case that was in any way unclear. At least you can fairly clearly tell which coins the red coins are. Ooh, this cave reminds me at least somewhat a little bit of, okay, quick thing. I hate how in this game, this game lacks object permanence. Like, the second something is off screen, it no longer exists. So we've missed some red coins, because the game is like, well, I can't see them, so they're not real. And a second time. See, I could throw an egg back at them, does not count. So, I had a dream about, it felt like a 5th gen Pokemon thing. And there was, some sort of train sewer situation, and, I don't know, it was all, goopful, and there was purple toxicity, and there was, a rare Pokemon involved. Air battle debate? You stop that. You know, when 2 planes have a debate. World War I was full of planes having debates. Oh my sisness, we actually got the 40. I mean, I sucked at everything else, but I actually got the 40 whilst dressed as a whale, no less. Well, I was not expecting that to go as well as it did, and yet here we are. And as the case always is, I want to go back and get more red coins, but the thing is, in the grand scheme of things, the red coins don't count that much. They only count towards getting 1 smiley flower, and, well, we got all the others apart from that one. So that does, again with the what is it with Unlucky 13 cursing me in, well, on this particular day of I was going to say, maybe it's because it's 30. I'm recording on the 12th. Therefore, QED numbers don't exist. That was oddly musical. So now that we're in the sky, let's volcane. Ooh, it's a poo level. There's a poo?
Major, minor, poo.
A poo? Poo.
Poo, poo.
Would everyone please stop saying poo?
Yeah, Layton's Mystery Journey for the 3DS, and also the Switch, but it's for the 3DS first, therefore it's for the 3DS. That game is just full of poops and memes, and having seen the anime series that comes with it, they like, Professor Layton, full of class and charm and whatnot, and then his daughter is just like, poo-poo. And that's, like, it's still good, it's still a good series, but just, come on, I know you're hiding secrets from me at some level. Also, that's a clever use of aluminium foil in the background there, or tin foil if you prefer. It's strange that we call it tin foil, bearing in mind we know it's made of aluminium with an I. Fuck's sake, America. Like, really, is it that hard to say aluminium? I'm still a whale, by the way. I'm just now realizing this. Well, whatever. I recently gave Europe Scalo 8 a lecture on Spanish because I teach her Spanish for fitness and for fun. We already know about this. Ooh, I could punch tap-taps through each other. One day I'm going to have to push one of these platforms down and there'll be a secret near the bottom of it. But I need to mind that I don't fall into the soup. Because it does look like tomato soup. It's like... Oh, hi. Ah, hi! If Heinz sponsored the Nether from Minecraft, this is what it would look like. And that's something else. Like, I know Andy Warhol and yes, I know Andy Warhol personally. Like, the whole pop art movement. Like, you know, the famous painting of the Campbell's soup. But, like, oh, okay, that happened. To me, Heinz is the premier soup brand. Anything else is second fiddle at best. So, Campbell's, you mean nothing to me. You sound, if anything, like a meatball brand, if I had to guess. And I think I think of a different Campbell's, because I know that there is a Campbell's brand that does meatballs, and I used to have them as a child, and then I got all picky. Like, as my mother will freely share this information, which was a sentence, like, for the first couple of time of my childhood, I was, like, this parent's dream blessing child who would eat many a thing. And then I discovered the option of having preferences. And so amongst the other things I used to eat, I see a pterosaur back there. I see a terrorist back there. Right, hold on, poo-poo. Don't want to go too fast, just in case there's a secret in the background that the pterosaur is distracting me from. Those creators remind me of Kirby 64, which I've not played. Well, that's a lie. I've played a little bit of it, but like most of my knowledge of it comes from Victor Bonabus playing it. And Lord knows I owe him some credit because of all of his references that I rip off. Right, poo-poo, go down hee-hee. And by that I mean here. Shall we be on... shall we let's away? Yes, well done, poo-poo. I've already forgotten what... Oh yes, so Campbell's Meatballs. At least I think it was Campbell's Meatballs. They came in 3 different varieties. There was the blue tin, the green tin, and the red tin. And I don't... Well, I think there was a red tin anyway. I don't remember what was so special about the red tin. But I know that the blue tin was my usual one because that was meatballs in tomato sauce. Now, Pooh, why did you do? I need you to go down there and stay down there. Yeah, I could ricochet an egg, but, you know, we could play a riveting game of where's an egg, but why when I can just get you to wade through the soup for me? Come on. There you go. Good Puppy Popo. Ah! Puppy Popo, otherwise known as K9, but... Okay, hang on a minute. Too many thoughts at once here. But when they call the police dogs K9 units, like, do they think they're being clever? Because it's just like, oh wow, you use letters that sound like a word. How ingenious. Anyway, though. I know the green ones were in onion gravy, and if memory serves, they were heinous and illegal. Nothing over here? Okay. I don't know what was in the red, and the blue was the tomato sauce one, which was the one that I always went for, and then I became a picky eater because, I don't know, I have a sneaking suspicion that they may have been mechanically recovered pork, etc. You know how, oh. You know how, like, some corporations are like, oh, it's a pork-style meat substitute, where, like, if they say pork, it has to be 70% pork, but if they say something like that, then it can be, like, 20% pork, 10% chicken, and half a gnoosh of clivers. Well, I pressed it to jump, but, you know, whatever. You know, that sort of legal loophole that they slide through? I would like more egg if you would be so unkind. If you would be so unkind, why do you... Poochie, what are you doing back there? Stop eating me, it's unpleasant. Oh. Yep, I'm gonna take the H there. You know, it's not the W, it's definitely not the L, it's the H. I got hit, I took the H. Oh, but the blarg is pursuing me and I want to hit the thingus and it keeps going up and down and deeble-dee-bope. Oh. No, you got in the way, you selfish kablag. And now there are fewer things. I need to go back and... Thank you, Poochie. That's probably why you did that. Could you fuck off for a little bit so I can, get? I would like to get. I feel like get was like an Egyptian creature. An Egyptian legendary. By which I mean, like, Egyptian royalty or something? I don't know. And I'm sure there was something else I wanted to talk about, and now I'm just thinking of colours of milk. Because, like, first of all, like, maybe this is just a UK thing. Also, I sort of need a Shy Guy so I can pop that thing open. Like, stop giving level at me like I'm stupid. I need an egg, otherwise I can't pop that thing open. Game, please. I need an egg. Okay, one rousing game of where's an egg later. Okay, now watch me proceed to not get the flower for completing this. Come on, poo-poo. Come on, poo-poo. There we go. Damned right you give me that, thank you. What's a boy gotta do to get his dog to give him thing? Poochie, anytime you feel like turning around, Poochie, for the suck of loves, go backwards, you missed coins. And yes, you are the one who missed coins because I kept telling you to turn around and you wouldn't. God damn, Yoshi game and your set pieces. Really? Poochie, turn the fluff around. You're making me look like bad player of game. Oh, and amidst all of this, there aren't even any red coins anyway. Honestly, understand the concept of love. Oh hey, the game didn't run out of object permanence this time. The thing I was going to complain about, and maybe it's a UK thing, if you refer to milk by the colour of the cap of its bottle, then you are wrong. And I'm aware that I am calling approximately half of the country wrong here. Also, this screen just blurred right against my eyes because I've been seeing so much red for the past 14 minutes. Well, actually, no, we did another level in this episode as well, but it's aggressive. Oh, we completed the level after all. But still, all this green after all that red. Hoibledy-boibledy-boib. Just blue milk, green milk? No! That's not right. The milk is white no matter what colour the bottle top is, you strange children. Shall we go to the Windward Way? It would help if I put on a costume first, I'm just now realising. So what's it to be? Well, I'm bitching about milk, so let's dress up as milk. Okay, heading into the Way of the Wind, it looks slightly fuzzy-ish. Now the thing is, yonder Americans, you are not immune to this either, because, like, this is something that I take umbrage with American English. When they fail to understand oh, it's Goonies! We get to see them in the flesh! I just praised you for existing and that's how you repay me? Who the fuck do you think you are? Well, that was a tangent. But yeah, Americans failing to realize when something is an adjective. So, milk is the best example of that, because when Americans talk about skim milk, it's skimmed milk. It is milk that has been skimmed. There's no other way of explaining this. It is milk that has been skimmed. it's not an instruction. You're not saying skim milk. Like, you don't have to skim the milk. It has already been skimmed. This also applies to semi-skimmed and all of the other flavors. Like, please, America. You're difficult to love at the best of times. Will y'all leave my sandwiches out of this? I'm sure I've seen people describe something as like a stripe top. No, it is a top with stripes on it. It is striped. Honestly, it's like, this is something that preschoolers understand in this country. Like, God, find my gym. God, do you know where my local gymnasium is? Oh, I've got the case of the recording loops. Hey, good, we're back to full costume-bray. 1 coin, you know what, for all this ranting, I probably deserve it. You know how sometimes, clearly sometimes, I'm in a good place to record, and clearly today was not one such day. Now, Goonies, I am aware, first of all, that they share their name with that, like, American kids film thing where there are kids and they are Goonies and they find, and that's all I know about the film, but they share their name with these seagull-looking creatures, and I since looked up Barunka O'Shaughnessy because, as previously stated, how lazy do you have to be to not put in the effort to spell someone's name, am I right? So I looked up her Wikipedia page. Doesn't say much there, but it does mention Sasha's Best of British. There isn't a page for it, but it at least mentions it. It also mentions that it was a pilot, so that's probably why it doesn't have a proper page. But the fact remains, Sasha's Best of British wasn't just a shared fever dream between my mother and myself. Give Blurn. I have earned this Blurn. Give Blurn. Give Blurn, thank you. Honestly. You're asking much too much of me, game. What, do you think I'm some sort of skilled player? Because I am. Sometimes my gameplay doesn't necessarily betray that, but I am. And you see, that's something. End of thought. But no, this is like a thought that I've had in the past where I'm kind of aware that depending on the situation, I kind of suck as someone to play video games with. And like, I am aware of this. Like, this is a personal fault that I am aware of. Oh, didn't see that. And yet I did. Like, Overcooked is a good example. Because I've played that with friends, I've played that with family. Where are you? You're you! Pretending to be a Goonie. Like, part of the... Okay, I criticised Wind Waker for doing this, and I'm going to criticise here for doing it as well. The game relying on the mechanics working against you as a sort of a form of false difficulty. Like, I hit the target several times, but my aim was nowhere near it, because I didn't have the reticle over something in the background, the game refused to acknowledge that I was aiming at something in the background. That's the crux of that challenge there. Anyway, yeah, I'm aware that I suck as someone to play video games with, because I, at my core, am a perfectionist in a way. And like, this sounds like I'm making excuses. That's not the intention, and I feel like this is something that people do need to learn to understand, like, both giving and taking. Sometimes when people explain stuff, they are just explaining stuff, and it's not meant to be a justification, and this is one of those times. So, hear me out. Like, I pride myself on being good at games, because, like, I know for a fact from personal experience that I am good at video games. As a general thing, you know, I grew up on games. It's a thing that I can do with some modicum of talent. And so, I get really frustrated, mostly, like, whether with myself or the game, depending on the circumstance, when my gameplay doesn't necessarily reflect that. Whether that's the fault of, like, random chance, whether that's, like, luck going weird, like here, or, you know, or if I make a small mistake with major repercussions, because that's one thing that, for the most part, and I do stress for the most part, because there are some moments where it doesn't, but that's generally something that Jonas Kerlu understood when making A Hat in Time. Oh, why are you in the background? Again with the aiming backwards thing. Knees on toast. And you. Again, with everything. I have salt. And ignore the pterosaur of rage. So, like, okay, what I was going to say is one of Jonas Kerlu's sort of tenets of game design, which was kept in mind when making A Hat in Time, was if the player makes a minor mistake, they should be able to recover from it. And I agree with that. And that's something that I praised. Oh, hello back there. That's something that I praised this game for earlier on. Like back in the Chili Hot Isles, there was a secret where it was just a smiley flower, not a smiley flower and red coins, meaning that if the player missed that secret, then they're not double penalized for it. You know, that they're not like punished for, oh, you missed a flower and you missed red coins because you're penalized twice for missing one secret. You know, it didn't do that, and I respect that. I appreciate that. So, you know, when a game is fair, that's fine. And the point I'm getting to in all of this is, like, if I play, like, a heavily skill-based game, especially a co-op one, then obviously I might get frustrated if, like, what I perceive to be my performance doesn't adequately match what I perceive my own skill level to be. And that then means that I sort of expect the best out of myself. Like, fuck you, I was on top of you. You could tell it's been a day of recording. Well, it hasn't, it's been 2 episodes, but still. So, you know, I will never, like, emphasis on the word unfair, I will never unfairly blame my partner in a co-op game if something goes wrong. If it is my partner's fault, I mean, I'm not going to rub it in because that doesn't help anyone, you know? I'm not going to go full Gordon Ramsay like, oh, what the fuck do you think you're doing? And you know, I might ham it up for comedic effect on a recording, but in person, you know, I'm not going to legitimately give someone a hard time if they suck at a game and that's bringing me down. But, like, you know, obviously, I like to have my best self represented in my gameplay at all times. Which means that I hold myself to a high standard, which naturally means I'm predisposed to holding people I play with to something of a high standard as well. And sometimes I forget that other people aren't wired that way, and other people aren't as predisposed to intuit how a game works, they're not as experienced with the game, and so my expectations of them are unfairly high. And I recognise that's a fault on my part, and I feel like more people should learn to have this kind of introspection. So this was one hell of a ramble and a wander, and weirdly it ended up being the right length for an episode, which is fine. I have salt about that because that wasn't my fault, but this is something we can come back for. But yeah, this is just thoughts that I have, in the same way that Overcooked is more fun if 3 to 4 idiots are playing it. And I don't mean that in a condescending way. Simply, what I mean is, if you have 4, like, hyper-skilled players, they're all going to hold each other to really high standards, and so when things don't go perfectly, oh, how can I turn down a freebie? Then they're all going to get nothing but frustrated with anything less than a perfect result. Whereas, if you have a mixture of highly competent and relatively incompetent players, then the competent players will get frustrated with the incompetent players who are doing nothing but focusing on having fun. I haven't seen any of those yet. And if you have like 4 quote-unquote incompetent players, then they're not going to care about the result, they're just going to have fun. Also, hey, we've opened the way back to Ninjarama. The world map all comes together. So, you know, this is just philosophies what I've had, but I should cut it off here because in the next episode, we could go to Acorn Forest, and from there to the Red Gem, which rhymes with Ned Gem, which was the earliest recorded name for a pet cat given by an ancient Egyptian to an ancient Egyptian cat. It means treasure. You're welcome for this. Anyway, I've been able to be Tessellating Hexagons. This has been a journey. Join me next time for hopefully something a bit more lighthearted. See you then for that, my duckies.